Hey guys, Rick with Rick's Toy Room, and it has been a long week. It was an even longer weekend with Megacon, and I just wanted to do a breakdown video. I did not get a chance to do this earlier in the weekend. I got home Sunday night really late. I was exhausted. Monday I was still exhausted, and Tuesday I was going out to a movie, so I did not get a chance to do this. So I'm going to do it now. I'm going to clean my desk up. Oh my goodness, you can tell I haven't been home in like forever. Yeah, so let's talk Megacon. Man, where to start? So this probably was the busiest Megacon I've done in a long time. So I've done Megacon for the last couple years. This was my third year doing it. And I was like, oh man, we got it down. We had a whole pre-game phone call. We had a plan. We're like, we're going to do zones. No one's going to leave their zone. It's going to be perfect. And that fell apart instantly. Like, this show area was not really set up in a way where that was feasible. And what do I mean by that? So, you walk into the main entrance, you walk right into the exhibitor floor, you walk down the hall, your artist alley is on the left side, your celebrities are way in the back corner, your food court's in the other corner, and the celebrity row, they did just a nice, or the comic creator row was a nice little U shape. And that would have been great if all the comic creators were in that U. But Creighton Klein had his own huge big display. As always, Miko had his own like out of artist alley table. Greg Horn had his own out of artist alley area and table booth. A lot of the other artists were, I mean, there were probably, I'd say about 10 or 15 artists that people wanted to see outside of Artist Alley. And what sucked is they put all of the like artist craft area, I guess it didn't really suck. Like it was laid out fairly solid, but very cramped. They had a lot of booths, again, right up against each other, similar to Tampa, where the U was very, very, very close to the other like tables and guests. So when you got a really popular guest, like it just got crowded quick. So yeah, Thursday, really busy for a Thursday. Like the con opened at 4, went from 4 to 9, and it was slamming the entire day. Like the moment we opened up the con and started going, we were moving. I think on an average, I was doing 12,000 steps per day. I think my lowest was like 11,000. My highest was over 19,000. Thursday was just busy, man. I mean, I've always said if you're going to do a convention, especially if you are hunting down autographs, comic collector or comic artist or celebrities, if they're there Thursday or Friday, those are the days that you do your autographs. You want to get those days in. You want to get the autographs out of the way because Saturday is insane. Well, Thursday was buck wild. It was definitely your hardcore comic collectors, your guys that came in for exclusives, the exclusive comics, any of the exclusive toys. And then, you know, we did a ton of witnessing on Thursday. Friday was even worse. Friday, super, super busy with all the artists. Saturday is a big celebrity day. So that pulls in the largest crowd. It is super impossible to get anywhere in the convention. So Saturday was exactly how we was expecting. It was very, very crowded. And then Sunday, I'll be honest, I think Sunday was just as crowded as Friday. Typically Sunday's fairly slow. A lot of your artists leave a little early. A lot are not signing much on Sunday because they're trying to finish up their commissions, their sketches. People pay $100 to $500 per sketch, depending on the size of the sketch, etc. And Sunday was just slamming. I mean, Sunday we dealt with a lot. Like the crowd was interesting. So Thursday, Friday were your hardcore comic guys. Saturday was your cosplayers, your celebrity autograph hunters, and then Sunday was it was like all these people with babies and strollers and old people and like young kids and like the age demographic. I would say Thursday, Friday was your like mid 30s to upper 50s crowd. Saturday was the whole gamut. You got everybody there on Saturday. You've got the kids, you've got the cosplayers, you've got the celebrity hunters, you've got your comic guys that are trying to do like hundreds of books and try to close up their autos. And then Sunday, like I said, like a lot of old people, a lot of people with babies, a lot of young kids. And I think they thought it was going to be just as slow, and it really wasn't. I mean, it was absolutely bonkers the amount of traffic we saw this weekend, or that weekend for that matter. Let's talk about just overall. I'm tired. Some of the cool things, some of the cool celebrities and artists that I met, things that I did, etc. So Thursday, we kind of got the lay of the land. I didn't do any shopping on Thursday. I looked at some of the exclusive books they had for some of the exclusive artists that were there, or the guest artists that were there. Not a lot of celebrities show up on Thursdays. So like your 4-day celebrities, a lot of times they're your lower end celebrity range, your voice actors, your anime guys, stuff like that. Friday, I had already pre-purchased the Breakfast Club autographs. So Friday, I was like, okay, look, I'm going to get into the con. Like, we get in an hour early because we're exhibitors. We got there like almost 2 hours early every day. Check out some of the shopping floor that wasn't covered. Check out the artist work that was out there, any books that we missed, etc. But Friday, I'm like, I came to get the, Breakfast Club. Like, I bought their tickets Friday because there's 4 of them. I knew it was going to be very difficult to get on Saturday. I was like, I'm just going to do this. So Friday morning, handful of my regulars. I had a lot of regulars that see me every show to get me to witness their stuff. And I had probably 3 or 4 regulars hit me up Wednesday saying, hey, you're going to be in the show Thursday. We're going to be there this weekend. So I did the con. And so Friday, I was like, okay, I've already hit up a handful of my regulars Thursday. This is going to be really easy. Well, the Breakfast Club, Anthony Michael Hall, Allison Sweetie, Molly Ringwald, Judd Nelson, they all got there pretty close to open, which is really nice. Like, they didn't really wait long. Like, they were out. They were getting this done. And it was really cool. Anthony Michael Hall came out first, and he was really working the crowd, man. I mean, he was like hyping everybody up. How's everybody doing? Glad to see you guys. Can't wait to meet you all. And this guy's a big fucking dude. Like, I didn't realize how tall and how broad this guy's shoulders were. Like, you see him in Breakfast Club and 16 Candles and Weird Science, and he's scrawny, little, scraggly kid. And he hit puberty, man, and blew the fuck up, because you see this dude now, and he's just a big fucking guy. But he was really cool. So I actually got his autograph first because he happened to be out first. So got his autograph first, and we were shooting the shit for a second. And it was funny, he was talking to the couple in front of me, and he's like, I don't know what really happened to Emilio. I think that Charlie Sheen really scared him off and got him out of Hollywood, because like after the Tiger Blood stuff, you just don't hear about Emilio anymore. And so everybody kind of laughed about that. And I don't think I didn't really talk to him that much. I didn't have a lot of time. Like, I was getting texts to like go help some people. So I got Anthony's autograph, left, came back real quick. And one of the couples that I always witness for, they always buy VIP. And she's like, hey, can you help me go get, Ben McKenzie and the guys from Happy Days? I'm like, yeah, I got you. So did all the witnessing for them. And she's like, well, hey, I got my VIP. Let's go do the Breakfast Club. I want to meet a couple of these guys. So banged out Judd Nelson really quick. Banged out Allison Sweetie. And she was really cool. I think she was the second autograph I got. Oh, I know. I'm going to go back to that. So I walk up to Allison Sweetie, and I'm like, hey, how often do people like tell you that their favorite scene in the movie is when you put the potato chips in the sandwich? And she goes, so often. She's like, it's like one of the top 3 things people say to me, how they love that scene, how great it was. And she's really personable. Then I went over to Judd Nelson. I was talking to Judd, and I was like, hey, no one really understood probably your role in the movie until they got through high school. I was like, and then I realized how my disdain for teachers and everything, just, it sucked. And he was laughing. He's like, yeah. He's like, it's amazing how certain things don't hit you until certain ages. And then Anthony Michael Hall. So when I did go up to him, I bought the photo that's got all four of them sitting in the chairs in the detention hall. And he was like, hey, how are you? I'm like, hey, nice to meet you. You know, so glad to see you guys here this year. And he's like, let me guess, you're going to have everybody sign this. And I'm like, he's like, you know, I can see things. And I'm like, oh, nice Dead Zone reference. And he's like, oh, you saw the show. So we laughed about that for a minute. It was cool because almost every one of them had the note to the principal as one of their autograph items on the table. And honestly, if I would have had the inclination, I would have got that and had everybody sign it because that would have been fucking hilarious. So then at the end, I went and did Molly Ringwald, and Molly Ringwald's line was really big. When she came out, she looked like she was in good spirits, good health. But when she got to the table, man, she was just like... And you're talking to her like, hey, you know, so happy to meet you. Like, I love the movie. You're one of my favorite actresses growing up. And she's like, okay, that's nice. And, like, people take selfies with her, and she just, like, froze. And at first, I was like, well, maybe the plastic surgery and the fillers, like, messed up some nerves and she's had stroked out or something. Maybe she got health issues. And when you watch the panel, she was in like full talking mode. She just got really bad anxiety, come to find out. So she really didn't like people around her, didn't like them like standing next to her for selfies. So it wasn't the greatest of experiences with Molly, but what did they say? Never meet your heroes. So that was Friday. And then ton of stuff with a bunch of the comic creators. One of the coolest parts about Friday, so that was the first day Todd McFarlane was there, and to get an autograph with Todd McFarlane, you had to get in a lotto. And Todd McFarlane does not let witnessing happen with his, like when he's doing his autographs at the cons. He saves that for private events. He gets paid. He does not charge people for his autographs at the conventions. It is strictly a fan, like it's a fan event. He wants to talk to his fans, etc. So a lot of people that I was witnessing for was really bummed they didn't get Todd McFarlane's. They didn't win part of the lotto to do a McFarlane autograph. Okay, no problem. Well, a gentleman by the name of Gabriel Dell'Otto, and he does like Amazing Spider-Man, he does Batman, he does a Joker, he does a lot of good art, but he's from Italy, and he doesn't come to the U.S. often. And when he's here, he pulls a crowd. Like, it's very rare to see him doing conventions in the U.S. So a lot of people want to get his artwork signed. So Friday night, busy as all get out. And by the end of the night, I was kind of tired. I was like, look, I'll just break camp in Dell'Otto's line. I've got a bunch of people that need witnessing. I'm not really doing any shopping. But I was starting to get that, like, FOMO, right? I was like, man, I should get his autograph. This guy's really, really popular. He doesn't come here often. And I was like, nah, I won't worry about it. Well... The con closed at 7, and about 6:50, probably about 6:40ish, this guy walks up. These two customers walk up, and they drop a stack of books this high. It had to be about 50 or 60 books to get Dell'Otto to sign. Everybody, so they cut the line off. They're like, look, we got to close at 7. We got to get rid of people. Everybody in the line's like, yo, what the hell, right? Can't believe they're doing this. They shouldn't allow that. Everyone's really grumpy. Well, in the middle of just kind of like hanging out with a couple customers while we're waiting for these dudes to get their 60 books signed, kid you not, like you hear it's him, and it gets real quiet for a second, and everybody's like, oh my god, it's him, it's Todd. Turn and look, Todd McFarlane is walking down Artist Alley with his entourage, and he is stopping to talk to every single artist that stayed until the end of the show. He walks up, he's like, I want to talk to Dell'Otto. Man, Dell'Otto busts out his chair, he almost falls over the table, like he goes out there, he's like, oh my god, he's talking with Todd. Whole circle shows up, like this whole people are taking photos and filming. Dell'Otto sitting there, Melee is sitting next to Dell'Otto, Melee comes out. So all these guys are like doing selfies and having these conversations with Todd. And then Todd's like, oh, I'm sorry I broke up the line, guys. Like, I forgot. Like, I know you're trying to get out of here. And all of a sudden, he's like, here. He starts signing customers' autographs. People are losing their mind. Like, everybody's happy. His handler's like, we got to go. I know you want to meet the artist. We got to go. You can't be signing autographs. Chick standing in front of me. He's like, oh, that's Todd McFarlane. Pops out a Spider-Man. He's like, oh, I did that one. Signs it for her. Half the dudes on the line are like, You lucky bitch. And then Todd just worked his way down Artist Alley. Anybody that was still left on the creator row, he stopped. He flipped through their portfolios. He talked about their work. Like, as eccentric as Todd is, and sometimes as weird as Todd can be, Todd is an awesome guy. Like, just amazing personality, amazing with the creators. Super cool. So that made Friday night. Like, Delotto was happy, all the customers were happy. Like, it was really cool. Saturday was like, Saturday's not really the day to be getting autographs. Like, Saturday's kind of, you're like, go shopping, stay out of the really congested area, go see celebrities. But Saturday, I had tickets for Dolph Lundgren. And Dolph Lundgren does not do many conventions. Like, I rarely see him pop up on a guest list. And I was like, I'm getting Dolph's auto. This is going to be like one of the few times in history I'm going to be able to meet Dolph Lundgren. So I pre-bought the ticket, and sure enough, he was coming out first thing. His line was insane. So I was like 10th person on the line. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to be in and out. Had one of the regulars like, look, this creator's here. Like, I really want his autograph. I really need a witness. Can you get over here? Stupid me is like, yeah, you know, it'd be faster for me to go there. No, I get back. There was like 200 people in Dolph's line. So try to work some magic. The convention did not let us skip into VIP. So we got really screwed there. And then the line got messed up. So Dolph comes out. He's got his shades on. He's looking all cool. He sits down. He signs a couple autographs with the shades on. And damn near a fight breaks out in the line. So queue lines at these comic conventions like do an S, right? So you first person in line's up here, and then they go down, they come over, comes up, goes over, and then you walk the queue line, right? Anybody that's been in a theme park or anybody, you understand how like an S queue line works. What I understand that happened was the first line got up, they started moving. Some chick in the second row that was supposed to go down the row and come back up decides, no, I have a wheelchair or a walker or whatever the fuck her problem was. I have ADA. I'm not doing that. She goes up to his line. This starts a brawl because she just skipped everybody that's got to do the S. She just ticked off the people behind her. Now people are confused. They're like, oh, you're ADA. That's an ADA line. Okay, so they start going forward. Screwed the whole queue up. Bunch of people start screaming and yelling. Dolph gets up and leaves. He's like, get this under control. And he walked out. So he takes off. The line management company, the volunteers, everybody's trying to get things under control. Finally, Brad, you always see him at the con. He's got a hockey jersey on that says 69 Bad Santa. He came up and he's like, all right, here's what we're doing. Da-da-da-da-da. He gets another one of the managers over there. They redo the line, get everybody back in place, and we start going again. And we were doing okay. I mean, some people had a lot of Funkos signed. A few people did selfies. But by now, we've wasted over an hour and a half. Now, Dolph is going to a panel at 12:30. I'm not even supposed to be in the line. I'm supposed to be out doing witnessing. It gets to like 12:20. Dolph's security guard's up here. And I mean, this dude is... Dolph's a big dude, and he looked healthy. His security guard towered Dolph. I was like, bro. Security guard's like, look, we gotta go. Dolph's like, I'm signing autographs. So he's signing. And they're like, we're gonna need to cut the line off. He's gotta leave. And like me and it was two people in front of me and a bunch of people behind me that by this time we've become like really good friends with. We're all talking, chilling. We're all cool with each other. Well, I get up to be next in line. Lady's like, we're cutting the line off. And I'm like, lady, I work for CGC. I'm an exhibitor. I cannot get back in this line again. Like, I only have one ticket for today. Like, I can't get back in line. You guys can't guarantee me an autograph. I need to get this auto, please. And Dolph kind of looks up. He's like, keep him coming. She's like, all right, we're taking two more. So I got really lucky. The chick behind me damn near pissed herself. She's like, oh, yeah. I get up there and I'm like, okay, I only paid for one auto, but they said he's taking cash, no credit card. I've done this long enough. I know you carry yourself a pocket full of expendable extra cash when you go to these shows for instances just like this. So I walk up in line. I'm like, my boy Dusty absolutely has been talking about a signed Rocky photo ever since I said I was doing this con and ever since Dolph was announced. Whip out a wad of cash. I'm like, give me another signed autograph too. Guy's like, cool, scans my QR code, lets me another photo. Walk up to Dolph, nice to meet you. Thank you so much for staying for a few extra minutes. Yeah, not a problem. How about I sign up my character? I'm like, cool. He signs mine, Dolph Lundgren, He-Man, Dolph Lundgren, Draco. And I'm like, dude, that was awesome. He takes the next chick and he bolts. That was crazy. I ended up spending 2.5 hours in line for Dolph Lundgren. But I was able to meet him. I was able to get the autographs for me and Dusty. So that was super cool. And then I just busted ass the rest of Saturday just getting witnessing done and locking down as many comics as I could. Sunday, surprisingly enough, like I said, super busy, but most of the artists checked out. Like, all the artists were like, I have a 1 hour sign-in window. We're coming in late in the afternoon because we're going to stay at our hotels. We're going to do sketches. We're going to chill out. We don't want people around us at the tables. We want to sleep in a bit. We got to get packed and ready to go. So most of the artists weren't even there the first part of the morning. Most didn't get there till like 12, 1 o'clock. So I got to spend a little time doinking around the convention. I went over to David Nakayama, who did a exclusive Gambit foil cover with, I think, one of the comic companies. So I bought that, had David Nakayama sign it, and then AJ Lasario and Lenore Zan, who were the voices of Gambit, X-Men 97, and Rogue, X-Men and X-Men 97. They were there, and I was like, well, if Rogue and Gambit are here, I was like, and there's exclusive covers for them, I'm doing this. So whip out the pocket cash, go to Nakayama, get his book, have him sign it, run over to Nathan Zerdy, get him to sign it, take Nathan Zerdy's and Nakayama's, run over to the X-Men guys, get to do a selfie with AJ and with Lenore. And it was cool because I met Lenore first, and I was like, hey, can you sign it something Sugar? Because, you know, Rogue's always like, oh, no worries, Sugar. Not today, Sugar. Like, all this shit. So Lenore breaks out the Rogue voice. She's like, oh, Sugar, I gotcha. So she autographs it. Hey, Sugar, Rick, da-da-da-da-da. Takes a selfie. She's sweet as hell. I mean, for being 90, like, it was like, oh, heartbeat, Rogue. You hear that voice. You're like, oh, my God. Jumped in a line to AJ. So how I just fanboyed out with Lenore, this chick in front of me lost her mind for AJ. So apparently AJ was a some kind of like Prince anime character in some show that no one really hears of. And the chick's like, I love you. You're my favorite character in that, da-da-da. I don't want an autograph. I would just like to do a video of you, like maybe talking in the voice and take a selfie with you. So they charge her for the selfie. He's like, yeah, I'll do the video. And it takes him a minute. Like, he breaks out the voice, and he's like, oh, hello. And he does this, like, really weird, like Prince voice. And then all of a sudden, he starts to get into it, and he's just monologuing this whole thing. And as he's monologuing, the more he starts getting real, like, animated with it. And he's like, presenting to her and talking to her, and I'm in this void, and I was killed, and I can't wait to see this little princess if she ever meets me in the void. Like, losing his shit, right? Like, going really off, and I'm like, bro, like, this is cool as fuck to watch this guy just, like, bust into a character and get down. Then she had some, like, little wing dress on, and he was, like, giving her tease for that. This chick had to have wet herself at least 5 times. Like, I guarantee you she went home and handled some business. So, she goes back, she gets the video done, she stands in line, she gets the photo. She comes out and he's like, well, look, did you buy an autograph? She's like, no. He's like, I got to get rid of these photos. So he writes to Princess, whatever her name is, signs it, and like this girl could have died right on the spot and probably been good. It was actually really cool to see. Like, I love when you meet these celebrities and these artists and these guests, and they are like, they're about their fans. They're about the life. They're about, you know, being the actor and portraying this role and just doing it to make the fans happy. Coolest fucking guy. However, I did make the flub. I was like, man, I missed you last year. He's like, no, that was the OJ Gambit. I'm like, damn, my bad. Oops. But he was still super cool. He's like, oh, you're not with her? I'm like, no, bro. I was like, I'm a huge Gambit fan. Gambit's my favorite X-Men character. I was like, can you, like, something Mon Ami? And he's like, oh, yeah, I got you Mon Ami. And he starts speaking Gambit. And I'm like, dog, this is sick. I love it. So I had a real, like, Sunday was really my fanboy day. I hit the event store and I bought a couple copies of the exclusive G.I. Joe. They had this cover where Mark Simone, he did a Cobra Commander, like kind of holding his silver face, like silver mask. That was the trade version. And then the virgin copy had like the mask, and he had like a skull coming out of it, like a ghost being pulled out. And I was like, oh, this would be a really cool display when he signs these and get them graded, to get a once a man classified Cobra Commander from San Diego and do a display of those. So I got both of those signed. He was just chilling. He didn't really have a big group of people on Sunday. So I knocked those out real quick because I'm like, I got the money. It's a cool cover. Why not? I picked up a Jim Lee foil Virgin Batman variant just because I like the cover. It was really cool. It's like Batman standing on top of the city and the cape's flowing, and the artist for them wasn't there. There were a couple G.I. Joe books I wanted, but the Virgin copies of the books were like $125 because they were 1 of 1,000 variants, so I didn't get those. And then the artist that did the other Joe cover, which is like the homage to the homage to the 80s cartoon, the artist bailed out. So I'm like, I'm not buying the book if I can't get the guy to sign it. I'm not going to hunt him down to do it. So I ended up with 6 comics, 5 got signed, 2 were double signed, and then we cleaned up the day. We finished up what was left of the comic artist, went back to the table, chilled out, got them submitted to CGC, so they're going to get pressed, they'll get graded, they'll come back to me. I'm going to send the Gambit and Rogue back. Actually, I'm going to send did I tell you guys I did a Delato? So every day of the con, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, most comic book companies that had artists there or representing the artist did what they called secret drops. So they had all the books that they announced for the convention, which most people on Thursday bought pretty much up. And then every day they released a exclusive book for that day for the convention, so that they didn't get rid of, like, all the books got sold out on one day. Gets you to keep coming back to the booth all weekend too. So one of the comic companies had a exclusive Gabriel Delato Amazing Spider-Man Virgin copy drop, and I was like, dude, this is going to be my opportunity. So I got the book, went over to the table, and Delato was only signing from like 1 to 3, and dude had a fucking line, and I'm like, God. I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna break camp here again, no problem. And I was talking to the guys that were hosting him, and I'm like, look, I know Delato's busy. I know that we got to get out of here like fairly quickly when you're done. I was like, but once your line's cut off and they're done, if he's still up to it, would you mind if I then bought my SIG? Guy looks at me, he's like, well, book you signing. I showed him the variant, and he's like, give it to me. Delato's in the middle of this, full page sketch for a customer. He's almost done with it. He's about to open up the line, and the people that have been waiting for like hours, they got there in the morning, like, I'm just going to hop in line, I want to be there, kept peeking around the corner. So his handler saw that, and his handler was like, step back from the booth. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just waiting for witnessing, and the first couple guys I'm witnessing for anyhow. He's like, I know, just step back for a minute. So I stepped back. They were kind of all hovering around, and the handler just takes the book, puts it in front of Delato. He's like, hey, when you get a second, I need that signed. Delato's like, yeah. Signs it. Handler picks it up, puts it behind the table, gives me the nod. I'm like, bet. So he's like, all right, you ready? Lets the line through. About 5-10 people come through. He reaches back. He's like, yo, bro, here's your book. I'm like, dog. So luckily by that time, my roommate had actually showed up. And my roommate's like, look, it's kind of slow. Do you want help with Delato? So me and him were sitting there shooting the shit for like the first 10 customers. And by the time they handed me back the book, my roommate was there. Charlie was like, yeah, let me witness that. He's like, I know you're going to get that. He's like, you got to get that SIG series. It's Delato. I'm like, yeah, man, do the witness. So he writes out the paperwork. He bags it for me. I was like, I got to add this one to my pile back in the booth. So I took those and got that submitted. Yeah, man, it was just a cool show. John Chang, this dude does amazing artwork. He's an amazing person to talk to. Like, had a great conversation with him about like AI arts and how he's not one of these guys that signs his own books, grades them, and sells them at the table. He had a great philosophy on that, on how like his books that he normally do are exclusive at the conventions, and he wants the people that paid for those exclusives to get good sales, so he's not going to try to cut their throats and sell the book at his table. He will tell you where to get the book and bring it back to get signed for a free SIG. Like, super cool guy, man. I mean, he had a great philosophy on doing business. He's like, look, I'm trying to earn money. He's like, but at the same token, if I help push the exclusive book to the people that, the companies that basically paid for it and ordered it, he's like, they're going to order more from me, and I'm going to get myself a more future stream of business, rather than a short, do a con, make a ton of money selling my own books. He's like, that just doesn't make sense to me. He's like, I get the people that do it. They got to make their money. They're going to get their hustle on. He's like, but me, he's like, that's not me. And I was like, that, really cool. Like, you can appreciate that. So, convention was amazing. Like I said, so many things to see. A lot, like, I ran into a lot of the vendors that I've seen at Tampa Bay, at Lakeland. TV, what's his name? The guy that did my Turtles artwork. He was there, so it was really cool to see him again. I bought this really cool canvas painting of the Crow. So it's like this mural. It's got Brandon Lee standing in the window with the Crow behind him, and then it's got him like coming up the street, and then it's got like some blood running down it. Really cool artwork. I'm gonna post those photos up throughout the video here. But yeah, man, like, it was a really good show. Really long, really hard work. Like, every night, feet were killing us. Bodies were sore, absolutely exhausted, but I cannot wait to go back and do Megacon again, and hopefully I'll get invited to a couple other shows this year. I'd love to go up and do C2E2. I think there's a fan expo in Houston they might be doing. I don't know if they're doing WonderCon, but if CGC gives me the call, I'm going. I love these shows. I absolutely spent more money than I wanted to or budgeted for, but you can't take it with you. Enjoy it. Get some cool artwork. Meet some cool people. Have fun with it. That's it for tonight, guys. Appreciate you. It's been a long video, I know, but hopefully you enjoyed the stories. Hopefully that'll get you to go out and go out and meet your favorite comic artists. Go get your books graded and witnessed by CGC. See you at the next, Megacon next year. All right, later.